Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Cubs Line Podcast. I'm Ryan Dunleavy,
I'm Ryan Zelinsky.
and today the Cardinals come back to beat the Cubs 8-6. A rough loss for the Cubs today. Obviously, when you're leading a ball game for majority of the game and the bullpen blows it late in the top of the eighth inning, that's something that you ideally do not want to see. Ryan, any opening thoughts?
I predicted a loss today, but I predicted it in the fashion of they just wouldn't be able to hit the ball off the lefty. They did. Just tough to kind of see the game go away in the eighth inning like it did, but I'm confident that they're gonna get a big win tomorrow and win the series, so that's all that matters.
All right, so we'll get into our cards brought to you by Mark's Card Shop, located in 914 Curtis Street in Downers Grove, Illinois. Check out their website at markscardshop.com. Thank you for sponsoring today's show and the segment. All right, first guy started his career with the Rockies, then went to the Giants, Mariners, and then he was a all-star for the Dodgers with a 2.57 ERA. He's a left-handed pitcher, and he signed a pretty decent contract with the Angels that off season.
Tyler Anderson.
Yep, Tyler Anderson. This next guy, he started his career with the Red Sox. Then he was on the Tigers for a little while, and now he is on the Diamondbacks. He's a left-handed pitcher.
Um. Oh. Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yep, Eduardo Rodriguez, Erod. And lastly, this guy started his career with the Twins and then was a part of a blockbuster trade to the Blue Jays. He's a right-handed starting pitcher.
Oh, Jose Barrios.
Yep, Jose Barrios. Ryan, you want to take us into today's recap?
Yeah, so today the Cubs lose to the Cardinals 8-6. That improves the Cardinals to 48 and 42. Cubs drop to 53 and 36. The Cubs, thanks to Miami, still hold a 4-game lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. The Cardinals gain a game, and they're now 5.5 back in the NL Central. So we will get into the game recap here. Top of the first inning, really got going right away. Brendan Donovan walked, really good AB. A lot of really good ABs in the first couple innings for St. Louis. Kind of, they set the tone with that. Brendan Donovan walks, Mason Wynn strikes out, Wilson Contreras walks, Alec Burleson singles, and then CAC singles, makes it 2-0. It scores two. Then Lars Nootbaar popped out. Nolan Gorman flied out to end that inning. Bottom of the first, Ian Happ walked. Kyle Tucker singled. Suzuki struck out. Then PCA walked. Very rare occurrence. So the Cubs had the bases loaded, trying to respond in the first inning after the Cardinals took the lead. Dansby strikes out. Carson Kelly flies out. Cubs unable to do any damage in the first inning. What were your thoughts coming out of that first inning?
I loved what the first four guys did in the order. I mean, obviously Suzuki can't strike out there, but bases loaded, one out, and then that Dansby Swanson at bat, brutal. First pitch, he fouls it off, not a bad pitch. Second pitch, he swings at one in the dirt. Like, what are you doing, man? Come on. Takes the third ball, and then in the 1-2 count, he swings at a changeup high and outside, which would have been a ball. Just a brutal at bat. Once you have the bases loaded, you don't want to be a superhero. That's what Dansby Swanson is trying to do there. Take a breath, get on base all kind of ways. That should have been a 3-1 count. Puts the pressure on Liberatore, potentially walks in a run. And then Carson Kelly, I mean, the first two pitches were not competitive at all. I would have given the take sign, but this was a fastball right down the middle. He just couldn't do any damage on it. Well, yeah, I mean, that's not how you want to start a ball game. And one thing I do want to say about the Cardinals first inning, I mean, Brendan Donovan, a 10-pitch walk, like unreal at bat.
To
He,
open the game, too.
yeah, that's how you set the tone. He fouls out 5 pitches. I'm sure he will hear his name called tomorrow for the All-Star game as the reserves come out tomorrow. He's just such a good ball player, and we've seen it all series and all season long. And then Contreras draws another amazing at bat. 8 pitch at bat walk. The Cardinals fouled off, I believe. Let me fact check this really quick. But the Cardinals fouled off 12 pitches in the first three batters. So that's unreal. That's how you want to start a ball game.
Yeah, just tough to see that opportunity slip away early in the game. And then the top of the second, Brendan Donovan 2-out single, Mason Wynn 2-out single, and then Contreras strikes out swinging to end that inning with no runs given up. Bottom of the second, Michael Busch leadoff home run. That made him, I think, 6 for 6 in his last six with 4 homers.
5 for 5, actually.
5 for 5, sorry. That's unbelievable.
6 for 6, but
Yeah, it was 6 for 6 and then 7 for 7. But yeah, Michael Busch again picking up where he left off. A good pitch. Went the other way to
lefty
make this.
lefty going oppo home run. Love to see it, Craig. It took a 3 home run game to put him in the lineup versus the left-hander. First at bat goes yard.
Yeah, definitely expected to see Justin Turner today. Pretty thankful that we did not. Michael Busch again sets the tone. Gets the Cubs back into this game. Really, that's just what we've seen this year from him. Then, other than a 2-out Ian Happ walk, nothing came out of that inning. And then the top of the fourth, Nolan Gorman continues to just torch the Cubs. He hits a leadoff home run, 420 feet to left center. Kind of knew it was gone once it left the bat. It just, the sound of the bat, it traveled the ball.
1-2 location at all. I mean,
No.
you count. This guy struck out on 3 pitches in the dirt versus Bar yesterday. You probably want to make him chase here because Gorman is a lot of power, but he strikes out a lot. And then you just serve up a slider right down the middle of the plate. I mean, a good major league hitter, especially Norman Gorman, who hits very well at Wrigley Field and especially against the Cubs. I think maybe like 4 out of his 8 home runs are against the Cubs this year. This guy's just a Cubs killer, and that was not a good 1-2 pitch from Flexen. But he did have a good outing today, I will say.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you don't, 1-2 is not 0-2, so you don't want to throw it to where, like, you're just praying he chases, but you're not trying to, put it on a platter for him right over the plate. Or not exactly right over the plate, but still where he can still crush it. 3 straight outs after that. Bottom of the fourth, Michael Busch leads off with a double. Nico Horner walks. And then a wild pitch sets up a second and third, nobody out opportunity. Just because it was kind of an interesting play. So Matt Shaw grounds into a fielder's choice to which had Michael Busch get tagged out at home. Tough play for Michael Busch to judge if he should go or he should stay. He did go, and he tried to run inside the baseline to try and, either get hit with the ball or force a throwaway. I think if he runs the other way, away from the catcher, he might have been in there. Like, I know it's kind of a stretch, but, like, the throw was so offline, which, I mean, it could be because Michael Busch was running, inside the line so much, but I don't know. It's a tough play to judge. What did you kind of think about that play?
That's what you're taught to do. I mean, you kind of want to run in the baseline or inside of it at least and try and get hit with it. But I mean, with the top of the order, Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, PCA Suzuki coming up, you got your big guys up. I'm fine. Just staying at the base there, personally.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It wasn't, a swinging bunt, but it also wasn't a rocket shot. It was kind of just a chopper. Got to third pretty quick.
80 miles
Um,
an hour off the bat, so that's just a average MLB ground ball. Not
yeah,
a hot shot or a bunt.
yeah. And then following that, a double steal executed perfectly. So second and third went out. Um, Ian Happ grounds out, but it scores Nico Horner. So it's a 3-2 ball game. And then Kyle Tucker on a 3-2 pitch just kind of pushes one down the third base line. And it results in a inning-ending ground out.
Would have been ball 4.
Yeah, it would have been ball 4. I mean, I won't necessarily dock him too much because it was a 3-2 count, so you're not trying to look at a strike. But, it is tough that it would have been ball 4. Then we'll pick things up in the bottom of the 6th inning. To lead off the inning, Carson Kelly hits a double into the ivy for a for a double. Um, then Michael Bush singles, but Carson Kelly had a tough read on it. He didn't know if he should have, came back if it was going to be caught, so he only was able to get to third. So it's first and third. Then Michael Bush gets to second. Second and third, nobody out. Nico Horner single, perfect little bloop single. Um, Kind of gets Nico out of a mini slump. Scores Carson Kelly, gets Michael Bush to third. Um, and then a wild pitch brings Michael Bush in, so it's 4-3. Um, Cubs take the lead. Matt Shaw then grounds out. Steven Matz comes in. Ian Happ walks. Tucker flies out. Seiya walks, and then PCA strikes out with the bases loaded. Um, kind of a tough at bat there. He looks at a pitch that kind of is in his wheelhouse. Then he swings and misses at two sinkers. Close to the same spot. But yeah, a three-pitch strikeout in that kind of situation, just tough from PCA.
Yeah, it's the guy that you want up there, especially too. I mean, PCA has that clutch gene where runners on second and third, bases loaded. He's the guy that you want up there. I mean, besides Kyle Tucker, PCA is a close second for me. And I mean, lefty lefty, I know is tough, and those pitches were executed very well by Steven Matz, but you got to do something there.
Yeah, you gotta make something happen. You can't really strike out, but you just gotta force the defense to make a play. Then the bottom of the seventh, Dansby leads off with a strikeout. Carson Kelly then hits a home run in the left field corner. Knew it was gone. Big home run, big insurance run for the Cubs. Makes it a 5-3 game. And then the top of the eighth, Brad Keller comes in. Contreras leads off the inning with a flyout. Then Burleson hits a home run, 426 feet in the right center. That insurance run looms large there. You were hoping that that's all they were going to get, and then Palencia was going to come in and then be able to shut the door in the ninth. But so he hits a homer to make it 5-4. Scasey singles to right. Nootbaar reaches on a bunt single. So it's first and second. Then Nolan Gorman hits a RBI single, gets Nootbaar to third, and then Pozo comes in. It was a 3-2 count, I believe.
Yeah, 3-2.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he
So
hit that slider, and he just turned on that and hit that baby onto Waveland.
I mean, that thing was pounded like that. I mean, as soon as he swung, I just put my head down. I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" I mean, if you're gonna blow it, make it 6-5, or like, it's just tough to see the 3-run shot just kind of suck all the momentum, out of this game. And then in the bottom of the eighth, hoping that you can get something going. Justin Turner comes in, pops out to second. Ian Happ strikes out. Then Kyle Tucker catches interference. So, you're hoping, all right, like, can we just get something going here? Then Seiya hits a double. Kyle Tucker scores, makes it 8-6. You know, PCA's got the power to tie this game up. Fans are starting to get back into it. And he just hits a little roll over to first inning ending ground out. So, that was kind of tough. But you're leaving with a run, feeling good. Like, all right, like maybe we can get something going, in the ninth if Hodge can, you know, allow no runs. And then Mason Wynn flies out. Wilson Contreras strikes out. Alec Burleson strikes out. So 8-6, go to the ninth. First pitch of the inning. Uh, Fastball right over the heart of the plate. Dansby misses it. Fly out. Would you have liked to see him take the first pitch in that inning?
No, I'm fine with that. I mean, it was a pitch right down the middle. It was a good hit ball. No complaints with it. Ryan Hesley's a tough pitcher, and chances are, if you get into a deep count with him, you're not going to get on base.
Yeah, I agree. Just kind of like a lot of ninth inning rallies come with the first pitch or two getting the crowd into it. I like Dansby's aggression early. Just wish he wouldn't have missed that. And then same thing for Carson Kelly. Takes ball one. Then he looks at strike one, or sorry, he swings at strike one. I believe this was down in the dirt. Um, and then he hits a ball in the left field that I thought was going to carry and get out. Just missed it. would have been a huge home run. But yeah, he just misses that. So 2 out. Michael Bush comes up, 7 pitch AB, fouls off a couple 102 fastballs, or fouled off a 102 fastball, looked at two 102 fastballs in um on 0-2 to get the count to 2-2, and then struck out on a slider in the dirt to end this ball game. So again, Cardinals win 8-6. Yeah, another just kind of tough loss for the Cubs. I mean, I'm not gonna complain too much. Again, I did predict a loss. But yeah, it was just kind of a tough way to see that lead go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ideally, that's a game that you need to win, and hopefully, it does not bite you in the long run. The Cardinals have been playing such poor baseball and have scored 1 run in almost a week, and then they put up an 8 spot on you. I understand it was a bullpen day. Chris Flexen did all that he could. Pomerantz struggled. I mean, the biggest thing is everything was over the plate. That's all I really got. It's a game that hopefully will not bite you later in the year.
Yeah, I agree with you. And what I want to talk about a little bit is, so Matt Shaw been pretty tough at the plate. Um, he showed some life when he first came back up, and then just kind of really, you know, gone down. So do you value his defense? Because again, we talked about. I mean, he's so close to Gold Glove level defense. Do you value that more than his bat, or do you go out and you get a better bat with lower skills on defense, but he can bring energy to to the offense?
I go get that bat personally. I don't care if it's Ryan McMahon, Josh Bell, uh, Eugenio Suarez, any of these third basemen that on a non-contending team, I would love to pick up personally. I love Matt Shaw, and I think he would be a great defensive replacement or a pinch runner late in a playoff game. I just don't think his bat's gonna do it. You think of third base typically that position that has high slug, a lot of home runs, and Matt Shaw isn't slugging at all. He has 2 home runs on the year. I think it's too late to send him back down to Iowa for confidence because you're gonna have 2 guys who are useless, John Birdie and Vidal Brujan, switching off at third base. And I'd rather bite the bullet with Matt Shaw and take his defense over those two all day, any day. But not that long until the trade deadline, so hopefully the Cubs can pick up a bat at third base that can slug.
Yeah, I agree with you. And for some reason, I can't remember who played third when he went down.
It was Brujan, Workman, and Birdie.
Oh, that's right. That was when Gage Workman was okay. That was that was a wild time. Um, so Michael Bush right now hitting 293. Like we said, he was at one point today 7 for 7 in his last 7 at bats, had 7 hits, 4 of those hits being home runs. What do you think has made him so successful?
The power. He obviously, I mean, 4 at bats or 5 at bats, 4 home runs. His exit velocity has gone up a lot, and he's just attacking. I feel like a lot more early in the count swings, and that Michael Bush when he gets into late counts, he kind of struggles a little bit. So I love him attacking that first, second pitch, and the exit velocity's gone up a lot.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, he's been such a power hitter lately. Like, like we said, 3 home runs in a game, had one today. Like he's been, just so good. So now we'll move into today's pitching. Drew Pomeranz gets to start for the Cubs, only records an out, gives up a hit, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, a strikeout. He threw 25 pitches, 16 of them for strikes. So he was throwing strikes, but he was just getting hit. He now has a 7.6 ERA, his first earned runs given up to the whole season today. Chris Flexen went 3 2/3. Clearly, the biggest piece of today. Went 3 2/3, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, no walks, 2 strikeouts. He threw 64 pitches, 45 of them for strikes. He's now in an 8.83 ERA. Ryan Brazier came in for an inning, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. He threw 7 pitches, 5 for strikes. He's at a 1.2 ERA. Caleb Thielbar went an inning, no hits, nothing except a strikeout, 14 pitches, 8 for strikes. He's on 1.89 ERA. Then Ryan Presley came in, for an inning, one hit, uh, no runs, no walks, a strikeout. He threw um 13 pitches, 10 of them for strikes. He's at a 3.38 ERA, so that ERA is really going down. Then Brad Keller came in. He gets the loss. He went an inning, 5 hits, 5 runs, um, no walks, just one strikeout, and gave up 2 home runs. He threw 31 pitches, 19 of them for strikes. And then he's now at a 2.88 ERA. Porter Hodge went an inning, nothing except 2 strikeouts, 14 pitches, 8 for strikes, 4.63 ERA. So, what are your thoughts, on today's Cubs pitching? Tough to blow it in the end. Just what did you kind of see?
Pomeranz walks really kill him. You can't walk guys. It's gonna come back to bite you, especially in the first inning with some quality hitters coming up. Chris Flexen has been amazing for his ball club. I know he did give up a run, and he was on the mound for that Sarvisi single. But I mean, he's been everything this club's needed. He's pitched extra innings. He's been an opener. He's pitched long innings. He's been a long reliever. He's done middle innings, late innings. He's done it all for this ball club, and he's done everything that they've asked and needed of him. Ryan Brazier continues to be one of this team's most underrated arms. Steel Bar continues to be amazing. And one thing I do want to talk about is how underrated Ryan Presley has been. Besides a couple bad outings, he has been phenomenal for this team, and he's looked very good in his last couple of outings. And I'm starting to gain some more trust in him. And he is another guy who has playoff experience, which I'm super excited, hopefully, for this team to make the playoffs, and Presley could be a weapon for them. Brad Keller, I'm not going to harp on him too much because he's been great this year. I mean, as a non-roster invite in spring training, gaining around 4 miles per hour, making the big league club, and then turning into a high leverage reliever. I'm fine with it. He's even though he blew it today, he's been so good for this ball club. And lastly, Porter Hodge is continuing. He's coming back to look like Porter Hodge that we saw earlier this year and last year. Cubs, I mean, they just got hit today. It's gonna happen. The wind blowing out 15 miles an hour to center field, and the over under 11 and a half. I mean, it's probably gonna be a high scoring ball game.
Yeah, the wind definitely plays a big factor when you're pitching at Wrigley. So we'll move to the Cardinals now. Liberatore gets the start, 5 innings, 4 hits. He gave up 2 runs. He gave 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Did give up a home run. He threw 94 pitches, 49 for strikes. He's at a 3.7 ERA. Lee, how do you say his name
Leahy.
again?
Leahy.
Leahy, sorry. Leahy came in for a third. 3 hits, 2 runs. No walks, no strikeouts. 18 pitches, 13 for strikes. He's at a 3.13 ERA. Steven Matz, your guy Ryan,
Yep.
gave up, or
Shout out
he
to
went.
the Mets.
Yep.
Let's
Uh, he went an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, 1 run. It was earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a home run. He did get out of the jam, with the bases loaded, on the PCA strikeout. He threw 31 pitches, 18 for strikes. He's at a 3.45 ERA. Then Romero came in for him, an inning, a hit, a run, um, 1 strikeout, 17 pitches, 12 for strikes. He's at a 2.70 ERA. And Ryan Helsley came in for the save. He went an inning, nothing except a strikeout, 11 pitches, 8 for strikes. He's at a 3.3 ERA. Any thoughts on the Cardinals pitching?
Liberatore has a very nice arsenal of 6 pitches, and he uses them all. It's a really nice off-speed curveball. He's going to be a promising arm for them, and I'm not excited to see what he can do as a Cubs fan, but as a baseball guy and a pitching guy, he's promising. And this back end of the Cardinals bullpen is pretty nice with JoJo Romero as the setup guy and Ryan Helsley throwing 103 in the ninth. So I mean, honestly, with the Cardinals still at 48 and 42, and they've been playing terrible ball, if they can get hot again, this team could be kind of scary.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if they're kind of a threat in the
Kind of
division, but
piggybacking on that, who do you think would be scarier in the long run for the Cubs? The Brewers, Cardinals, Reds, or Pirates for the rest of the season?
I just think Milwaukee, just because of kind of the history, they know how to win when people don't expect them to. With especially with Jacob Mizorowski pitching how he's pitching, I just think the Brewers are better built for, making a run at the division. I don't think they're gonna catch the Cubs though. But again, if there was any threat, I'd say Milwaukee.
And one more question on that, piggybacking on Jacob Mizorowski, would you give him the ball in game one, or do you give it to Freddie Peralta, the experienced veteran?
If like the Brewers are in NLDS
Wild card series. Who do you
or
think?
wild card series, I'd go to Freddie Peralta. He's got the experience. He's still pitching really good this year. I go Peralta game one, but then definitely Mizraski game two.
That's fair.
So, I want to ask you. So the bullpen has been really good this year. I know you kind of touched base on this. The bullpen's been pretty good this year. Coming off a starter, going 6 or 7 innings. Um, but then today, full bullpen game, no starter. They just, went all 9 innings. They were pretty shaky. Why do you think this is?
I don't think it's anything in particular. I just think the wind was blowing out. It's a tough pitcher's day. Today was a hitter's friendly day. It's a tough day to pitch in. That's kind of all I got. I don't think it was anything in particular.
Yeah, I agree. Just, not hitting spots, and especially, if you're throwing fastballs over the middle on a day where the wind's blowing out 50 miles an hour, yeah, it's trouble. Um, so as we know now, PCA and Cal Tucker are going to be starting in Atlanta for the National League. And reserves are coming out tomorrow at 4 o'clock on the Cubs pregame show on ESPN. Um, if any, which I think there will be one or two, who do you think the Cubs will have of the reserves?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Ryan. My first one, who I think is a lock, is Seiya Suzuki. He has had his best season so far. He's had the most home runs in his career. I believe he's currently leading the league in RBIs, and he's sixth in home runs right now with 24. I think there is no reason why Seiya Suzuki should not be an all star by the way that he is hitting at the plate. I know Rafael Devers probably will make it, but I think Suzuki should make it. Here's my last thing, though, before I go into these next couple of guys that have a chance. It's unfortunate how this all-star setting is, where you have to give these bad teams a player or two when they're really taking up a spot for a guy who deserves it on a winning team, which is kind of unfortunate because there might be a guy who's hitting 290 who doesn't end up making it, but they have to give it to a guy who's hitting 250 with 8 home runs just because he's on the Rockies. Like, that's just unfortunate to me. I don't I mean, I kind of understand it, I kind of don't. It's kind of whatever, but some guys might end up getting screwed, which will suck. So my other three guys, my first one is Michael Bush. I think he should be an All Star 100%. Nah, I'd say like 85%. He should be an All Star. Not hitting 293, 18 bombs, 56 RBIs. He's also, not to mention, he is a Gold Glove at first base. He's been unreal for this team, and I think one of the best first basemen and left-handed bats in the league. He should be an all-star. Nico Horner, I feel like he won't get in, but he should be talked about possibly as a reserve if guys don't go. I mean, he's hitting 282, 3 bombs on the year. Even though that he's playing some Gold Glove defense at second base, he stole 16 bags and he's hitting over 280. I think he should make a case. And lastly, my last one, I think there's kind of an obvious one, is Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd has been so valuable to this club, no one will even understand it by when Justin Steelan's show to go down and he steps up as his team's eighth. He's tied for 10th in wins in the league with 8-3. He's 12th in ERA with a 2.65. He's been so valuable to this club, and I think he should be an all-star. Maybe a bullpen guy would sneak in like a Thielbar, Palencia, Keller. Maybe, I doubt it. Typically, they go starter heavy. That's who I think deserves to represent the Cubs this year in Atlanta. Who do you think?
Um, you gave the stats, and I kind of agree with everybody. So here's what I'll just do this. Say a lock. Michael Bush should get in. Nico, I don't know. I think he deserves a look. His stats are, there. Matthew Boyd, I think he definitely should. I mean, because think about it, he was brought here to be a 3-4 guy. He's
Yeah,
he's turned into the ace. Like as much as I love Shota, he's turned into the ace. So I think he needs a long look, and I think he should get in. And like you said, maybe they'll throw a Theo Bar or like a Pomerantz just because his ERA was at 0 this morning, and now it's at like a .73. But I don't know if any of the bullpen guys will get in, but I think those guys that we just named should definitely get a look. And I think three, Boyd, Saya, and Bush definitely should get in.
I'm looking on Fox's list right now for their predictions. They have Michael Bush and Seiya Suzuki not making it, but being strongly considered. As far as hitting, and then for pitching, they have Matthew Boyd should be strongly considered, but they do not have any Cubs. Or actually, no, never mind. They have Matthew Boyd making the All Star game. Actually, they have. You want me to go down the rundown? Honestly, there's just to
Yeah,
give
you could. Yeah,
catching. They have. We could say if we agree or not. Will Smith obviously is the starter, and then Hunter Goodman. Even though he's on the Rockies, he's had an unreal.
agree.
He's been their best player by far. He might get shipped away at the deadline, but he's been so good. I mean, 16 home runs, hitting 281 on the Rockies. He should be an all-star. I agree with that. First base, Freddie Freeman and Pete Alonso. If they do end up taking a third first baseman, it will be Michael Bush. But Alonso on paper has been better than Bush, but I think they should take 3 and go with Michael Bush. Second base, Ketel Marte, Brennan Donovan. I have no arguments there. Shortstop, Lindor, Turner, De La Cruz. I mean, no arguments there either. Third base, Machado, Suarez. I agree with that. And the outfield, obviously, the starters. After that, they have James Wood, Juan Soto, and Kyle Stowers. I agree with Wood and Soto, but I think Andy Paje should make it over Kyle Stowers, but he will probably.
Oh, they don't even have Andy Pages in it.
They have Juan Soto over Andy Pajes. Who do you go, Pajes or Soto?
I mean, I said before, I think Andy Pages had a strong consideration to start over Kyle Tucker, let alone just make it. Like I think he should make it 100% over Juan
I think
Soto.
it should be Pajes over Soto. I think Stowers will represent the Marlins. 16 bombs, hitting 283. DH, they have Shohei, Devers, and Schwarber. Who do you got, Schwarber or Seiya?
I got Saya.
No bias either. I just think Seiya Suzuki has had a better year.
I mean, he's what did we say? Sixth in home runs, second in RBIs. Right there. There you go. Those are hitting stats. Yeah, I think that's a little crazy.
And then for the Cubs, for strongly consideration, they have Michael Bush. And then I'll just name the other guys: Bryce Harper, Josh Naylor, Bryce Terrain, C.J. Abrams, Geraldo Perdomo, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Corbin Carroll, Elliott Ramos, Andy Pages, Fernando Tatis, and then Seiya Suzuki. I think I think that Bush and Suzuki should make it. I don't know though. Then pitchers, they have Zach Wheeler, Paul Skeens, Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Yashibu Yamamoto, Andrew Abbott, Matthew Boyd, Mackenzie Gore, Freddie Peralta, Edwin Diaz, Robert Suarez, and Emilio Pagan. And then they're strongly considered are Clay Holmes, Sonny Gray, Chris Sanchez, Nick Pavetta, David Peterson, Kyle Finnegan, Tanner Stott, Trevor McGill, Randy Ramirez, Rodriguez, Jason Adam, David Bednar. Do you have any disagreements with the pitching?
Not really.
Are
No.
you surprised that they have Matthew Boyd? Because I wouldn't think so. Like I'm assuming like Bleacher Report and them, they don't have Matthew Boyd.
Yeah, I am a little just because like, it's not a expected name to be there. But yeah, I think he deserves it, and he definitely should get in.
I'm looking at the Times one right now, and they do not have Matthew Boyd. They have Logan Webb and Chris Sale over him, but they do have them taking Robert Suarez and Randy Rodriguez from the bullpen. I'll see if they have any changes with the fielders or if it's the same. Um, yeah, it's the same. They have Kyle Tucker making it over, or they have Schwarber making it over Seiya and Devers, but he's hitting 247. Although he does have 26 bombs on the year, he's hitting 247. Like Seiya only has three less bombs and he's hitting for higher average. I think it should be Seiya.
Yeah, I agree.
I hope he doesn't get rigged of an all-star appearance, and that would be his first in his career as well, which would kind of stink if he did get overlooked.
Yeah, I mean, this is his by far best year of his career so far.
Yeah, so I'll take it around the MLB. White Sox beat the
Real
Rockies.
quick, real quick, we'll do a quick preview for tomorrow.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so tomorrow 5:10 on ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball doubleheader. The Cubs have game one. Eric Fetty for the Cardinals, Matthew Boyd for the Cubs. Eric Fetty 3.8, 4.56 ERA. I think the Cubs hit him around last time they faced him.
yeah they did. That was when he was
Um,
in the 8 spot.
yeah. So I feel pretty confident. Matthew Boyd 8-3. He's got a 2.65 ERA. Prediction, keys, and yeah, just kind of thoughts about tomorrow's matchup.
Matthew Boyd shoved day. Give me Cubs 4-0. I love Matthew Boyd. I hope that him being named an all-star hopefully can give him some confidence, which he should. He's such a good pitcher, man. He's been a stud this year.
Yeah, and then if he doesn't make it, chip on his shoulder. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. I think he'll probably make it too because I doubt all 8 of those starting pitchers will go personally because some of them might want to save their arms and stuff. Typically, you see mostly starting pitchers drop out, so hopefully Matthew Boyd will get a nomination for the All-Star no matter if he makes it now or if he's announced in a couple days.
And as much as I would love to watch him, I don't wouldn't mind him opting out just because of we want to save his arm because we have a World Series to win.
Totally agree with that. Now am I good to go around the MLB?
Yes, sir.
The White Sox beat the Rockies 10-3. Colson Montgomery had a 3-hit game tonight. He is an intriguing prospect with a nice left-handed swing and will be at shortstop for the near future for the White Sox. The Twins beat the Rays 6-5. Brooks Lee hit a walk-off bunt single. Love to see the small ball. The Blue Jays beat the Angels.
Yeah, seriously, small ball at its finest.
Addison Barker hit a walk-off single. The Red Sox beat the Nationals 10-3. They rallied for 7 runs in the third inning. I believe this is their second game where they had a big third inning. The Phillies beat the Reds 5-1. Alec Boehm hit a big 2-run bomb and Schwarber hit a 2-run home run. The D-backs beat the Royals 7-1. Ryan Nelson with a nice start and Randall Gritchett hit an inside the park home run today. I'll love to see that. The Orioles beat the Braves 9-6. Ramon Laureano hit the go-ahead double, and Jordan Westburg hit a 461 feet home run. The Mets clinched their series win against the Yankees in the Subway Series. Pete Alonso hit a big 2 home run game, and Brandon Nimmo hit a grand slam. Carlos Rodon got hit pretty hard. The Marlins beat the Brewers 4-2. Kyle Stowers, who will probably be named an All-Star tomorrow, hit a solo home run. The Tigers beat the Guardians 1-0. Casey Mize with an unreal start, and Torkelson hit his 20th bomb on the year. I mean, how frustrating has it been for the Guardians? I mean, this pitching staff's been unreal, but their hitting has been terrible.
I mean, so two of the last 3 games they've lost 1-0. I mean, how more frustrating can it get than that? Um, but yeah, it's just tough to see. They won the division last year, and I mean they were expected to be really good this year also. But just kind of a pretty tough June is gonna probably make that a dream. So I always enjoy seeing Cleveland do well. But I don't think that they're gonna be able to sneak in this year, even though the AL is kind of shaky this year. But yeah, it's just been so tough for them. I mean, like you said, their pitching has been awesome. So
The Astros beat the Dodgers 6-4. I mean, Framber Valdez on the mound. Typically, when he's on the mound, it's going to be a good day. And former Cub Isaac Paredes will probably be named an All-Star tomorrow. I did want to note that as well. He's having quite the season there. But I did expect that though, because when you got the short left field, he's probably going to hit a lot of bombs, and that's Paredes did really good in Tampa because of that as well. So I kind of expected it. But Tucker starting for the Cubs, so win-win trade. The Rangers beat the Padres 7-4. Josh Smith hit a leadoff bomb, and Kyle Higuaoka hit a 5 RBI game. The Giants beat the Athletics 7-2. Heliot Ramos hit a home run, and Willie Adames drove in 2 big runs in the third inning with, I believe, 3 hits on the night. Then the Mariners beat the Pirates 1-0. Luis Castillo, or was it Luis Castillo? It says LM Castillo. So I want to double check and make sure that was. Yep, Luis Castillo gets the win on the mound. Ben Williamson hit the go ahead double. Luis Castillo struck out 8 in 7 innings. And Mike Burrows had a really nice start for the Pirates. Got to give him credit, though, too. Anything you want to talk about around the league? But one thing before that, I did want to, or actually, you go first.
Nothing much. I mean, just kind of, what I kind of said last night. This is more about the standings, but like this is setting up to be a really fun playoff. I mean, like the AL seems to be changing every day, so yeah, it'll be fun to see how the standings work out. And but yeah, nothing, about any of the games today.
Yeah. And lastly, I wanted to say rest in peace to former White Sox closer Bobby Jenks. He pitched the final out in the 2005 World Series. Unfortunately, he died at 44 years of age, way too early. He was very fun to watch, even though I wasn't able to watch him because I was too young. But rest in peace, Bobby Jenks. Thank you for everything you did for the city of Chicago.
Yeah. He was. How old was he? I mean, he was what, 44, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just so tough to lose someone that, at that age, and praying for, him, his family, that they're, doing good, and yeah, rest in peace.
All right, on a happier note, we'll get into MLB Pickle. Ryan, give me a guy.
Let's go with Wait, is it just current guys?
Yeah.
It's current guys, right? Let's go with Bobby Witt.
All right, Bobby Witt. All right, he's a righty. That's all that was correct. So let's go NL East, righty, right. Or I'll go NL East, right. NL West, righty. Sorry about that. We'll go Andy Pages because I know he's not from the USA. In the NL West, a righty, but he's not from USA. Let me think. Robert Suarez maybe because pitching.
Mm,
It's loading. Righty from Venezuela in the NL West.
ooh,
It's a good one, man.
Venezuela is not like,
All right, let me think. Giants, Heliot Ramos, maybe?
yeah,
Ramos isn't from Venezuela, that's a no. But he's not on the. So he's either on the Rockies or. Wait, Orlando Arcia is from Venezuela.
yeah.
There we go. No. Righty on the Rockies from Venezuela who's 30 years old. Thairo Estrada, maybe?
Yeah, try that.
Nope. Oh, 30 from Venezuela on the Rockies. He's not a starting pitcher. Or Herman Marquez, maybe? Let me see how old Herman is. What? He's from Colorado. He's righty from Venezuela, 30-year-old starting pitcher.
30-year-old starting pitcher.
I'm trying to think of their rotation because I have been watching
Did
these
you
White
did you
Sox.
do Marquez, your man Marquez yet?
That's what I just did. I know Stensella, who threw for them yesterday versus the White Sox, so I will
Yeah,
guess
do him.
Anthony Stensella. I was just thinking of who the White Sox faced. Yep, there we go. Antonio Stensella. He pitched versus the White Sox yesterday. Now we'll get into your guys' favorite immaculate grid. I
This
kind of
is
double
this is really tough.
Hall of Fame 10+ win season. Randy Johnson.
Yeah. I'm just saying, these are all, there's no teams in these.
Cy Young, 10+ win season. Did
Jake
Skeens?
Arrieta,
Jake Arrieta.
6 WAR, 10 wins. John Lester. He had to have a 6 WAR, right?
I'll check. It's not letting me put him. Seeing like a good Paul Skeens? No.
Oh, yes, John Lester was right. Yes.
John Lester was right.
20-win season pitching Hall of Fame.
Um.
This is all pitching.
All right, let me think of some of the all-time greats. Sandy Koufax.
Yeah. All right. Cy Young 20-win season. Roy Halladay, did he ever get it?
Holiday, Kerry Wood.
I'll go Roy Halladay here. All right, that's right, 2%. For this one, I'll go Kerry Wood. For Kerry Wood. Oh, Kerry
Really?
Wood didn't have a 6 WAR,
What?
right? Or he might
Pedro
not have had 20
Martinez?
wins then.
Pedro Martinez, maybe?
Yeah. No, he probably didn't have 20 wins. 200 wins, career Hall of Fame.
Pedro Martinez work, yep. 200+ wins, career Hall of Fame. Trying to think like the all-time greats. Got Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Sandy Koufax, Greg Maddux, Bob Gibson, Nolan
I'll
Ryan.
try Greg Maddux. Yeah, that worked. All right, now we got to get 200 wins, Cy Young.
Bob Gibson, maybe? Or no, just do Cy Young, the guy.
Cy Young, the guy.
No, because he didn't win a Cy Young. Because his name's. Let's try Bob Gibson.
No, it worked.
Oh, Cy Young worked.
Yeah.
And then a 6 WAR. Do you want to do Bob Gibson for the 200+ win career 6 WAR?
Yeah.
All right. There we go. We are immaculate, folks. Thank you guys for joining into today's show. I know I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did watching as well. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next episode. See you later. Signing off, Ryan Dunleavy.
Ryan Zielinski. Thank you, guys.